So I think there's always that question that one has to ask: is this an ANC policy document or a national governance policy document? Because I think sometimes they struggle to understand the transition. So they must be very clear: are we writing a document on the basis that we're in power and will remain in power, in which case then some of these policies actually don't really align with what's happening in the national context? Or are we writing internal policy documents that will then frame our thinking if we become in government? So I think a lot of people still don't even know what the status of this document is. So if you are not an ANC voter, you don't even know whether it actually makes sense for you to engage with these documents, because is it internal or is this a governance document? And then if you see what's happening at government level is completely at odds with this, you have to think, well, what's the point of writing these documents in the first place if even the people that are within the ANC don't know how to translate what the ANC says to what the government eventually does? And I think one of the key issues there is that the ANC's fundamental weakness, its complete inability to implement its own resolutions and also to monitor them, and also to then work out, once you've implemented and monitored and then you realize that there's a disconnect, what do you need to do thereafter? So until they learn that, they are still going to be stuck in this flux where they're still trying to figure out, how do you transition from being a liberation movement to being a governing movement? And I think their inability to sort of crystallize that conversation creates a space for alternative parties to say, well, we never sold you the liberation thing. We're simply talking about governance. And for as long as people start thinking that actually governance is what we should be chasing, then that's what becomes a more populist. That's what starts appealing to the masses out there. So the ANC actually shoots itself in the foot by still being so myopic in how it engages with the public.